Hello, I'm Julia and welcome to my garden. I'm not sure what day it is and I'm not sure what time it is. About lunchtime, coming up for 12. And I'm sat in the garden in the shade for now, but the sun is moving over. That's okay, I don't mind a bit of heat. My laptop broke, so I haven't done a video for a couple of weeks, and I am about to do one now. We're going to go in the polytunnel and have a little look at what's going on in there, and have a little look at what's changed since I last made a video. Thought we'd start off in the polytunnel. As you can see, things are going pretty good in here. I'm not going to spend too long in here. Certainly not going through every plant like we've done before. It's fantastic. Look at all these plants in flower. I'm so pleased with it. We've got some pretty spanking tomatoes coming on and all. Let's see if we can find. Let me see here. We've got one there. Yeah, that's one. And there's a baby one there. And that's pretty typical, really. There's quite a few. Most of the plants that have got flowers on them have also set tomatoes. So that's pretty cool. It's going really well in here. Even look at those tumbling toms. That must be a massive change from the last time I showed them to you. They're just going wild. And in that basket too. Looking good. That basket at the end, I think I forgot to water it. Whoop. Let's do that now. Don't know if I'd be able to do this one-handed. Just bear with me a minute while I water that plant. Okay, I'm done. I'll come back in 10 minutes and make sure it's got some water, because quite a bit of that ran out the bottom. Looks a little dry in there. It is. It's not holding the moisture. I'll see if I can find a plastic bottle to cut down and shove in it. I think all of these baskets might benefit from that. I've got something to show you. I filmed myself doing a tomato in a bottle a la Horty Hughes challenge, but when my laptop broke I lost all the footage for it. However, I can show you the tomato that is in a bottle. It has now been hung up in here. This was a sucker from one of the Sun Gold, I believe, and when I put it in the bottle didn't even have any roots started, but it's definitely perked up. There we go. One tomato in a bottle with a little macrame-esque bag that I made. This is a Vimto bottle. Other soft beverages are available. And I took the top off it and turned it upside down so that I can use it to water. It'll drain out from here if it gets overwatered. So that's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that, and I'm really pleased with how this tomato's coming on. Cool. Yeah. Tomatoes, tomatoes, everywhere tomatoes. It's great. You won't be able to see them, but I can. I can. There's another one. And there's more. Those currant tomatoes at the back there have got tomatoes on as well. I said I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do a grand tour of the polytunnel today. I just wanted you to see how they're getting on. These Pomodoros Amazano are doing really well. Huge now. Big, big. Really well. So there we go. In here I've made some screen doors that sit on the inside of the green roll down zippered cover door, just with some enviromesh stapled into them to stop so many flies coming in, because they were going mental. I was debating with myself when I first put these tomatoes in, was it worth it sowing them on the 1st of January? My answer now is absolutely yes. I've just seen something. Do you want to see it too? the indigo, it's the midnight black. Is midnight black or midnight snack, as I said? I can't remember. But look, we've got the first little, oh, tiny black tomato. I mean, come on. That's exciting. And it's really black. I didn't really quite expect the baby tomatoes to be black. I didn't. That's really cool. I'm definitely going to have to find out whether that's midnight black or midnight snack, because that is a tomato plant that's growing again, just for the fun factor. Wow. It also has a large sucker, which I'm going to take off when I come back in here after I finish talking to you. Okay, let's get out of here, it's boiling. Let's go into the garden. I think the last time I spoke to you, the beans were going in, and they're all taking quite nicely. I've also planted a row of modular sown turnips down here in front of them. There's nothing in front of these ones yet. They're all growing really well. Growing, they've found their way up the strings. Most of them have. Well, not most. Okay, most of them have, yeah. These are cobra, and it was windy when I put them out, which I should have known better. But everything else has been fine. It wasn't that windy. Yeah, it was windy, but I thought they'd be sheltered by this and the rest of the garden. But clearly not, and it got a little bit of wind damage, but I'm not overly worried because the new growth that's coming through is nice and green, so I think they'll perk up. Cobra did that last year. Look on the other side where they were a little more protected. They're fine. The peas are in flower now. These are the Kelvedon Wonders. So it won't be too long before we have peas off them. There's no flowers on any of the others yet. Just on the Kelvedon Wonder. The Gigantes beans are really going for it. They're up here now. Here. And same on the other side. Even taller actually on this side. Up here. I think they're going to make quite a good covering on this frame this year. Just pop that one in. Do help them if I can. Great. There's some squashes in these beds as well. One on each end in those two beds. Cheeky Prince is at the end over there. Cheeky Prince was not happy in its pot. So I just put it out thinking if it's going to die, it might as well have half a chance of living outside. And it's better out here. It's much happier. That leaf is crispy, but this one's nice. So I think, see, the first few leaves came through quite deformed, but now that one's looking like a proper leaf. So I think we'll just persevere with it, see what happens. I think it'll be fine. Those are the first sowing of peas that I did, the blow shockers. They're quite big, getting on really well. Those are the aldermen, which were I sowed about 3 weeks after the blow shockers. And then Kelvedon Wonder we've already looked at. Kelvedon Wonder, Gigantes beans. These are a second sowing of blow shocker. And then down there is a second sowing of alderman, and that TP needs stringing yet, which is one of my jobs to do today. The enorma beans seem to be, yeah, they're attached as well, as are the, I think they're Isabel, could be, no they're not, those are the Armstrong. I might have overplanted my Brassica beds. I kind of expected to be taking some stuff out of there a bit sooner than it is. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Sweet corn's doing absolutely fine. The winds, I didn't put a cover up, a windbreak along that, because I was planning on putting a windbreak along this back fence, and I forgot. So they had a bit of wind. They had a bit of wind, but none of them got damaged. I've got a little bit at the edges, but not much. Sorry, I've just seen some weeds there, I just want to get them out. I've seen a lot of weeds. I want to get them all out. And those are the hawk butternut squashes that planted in between the rows of sweet corn that I put out just this morning. So there we go. And that's a couple of, can't remember. No, Tondo Cirara Denise. I really enjoyed those last year. Nice round courgette style squashes. Or the broad beans. This side, with the sewing that I did inside in toilet roll tubes, and they are aqua dulce. I did them in the spring and I don't think they've liked it that much, but they've got tons of flowers on them. They're not big, tons of flowers, and I've spotted the first beans on them as well. And there's a bee doing its business, going around pollinating, so that's cool. And those ones are Bunyard's exhibition, which everybody knows I really like. And they were done much later than these ones. So we're going to see how we get on with them. They're going okay. What else? We've got Cavallo Nero on the ends here. It did get a few butterfly eggs on it the other day, but I took them off. And it's not got any more since. I'm pretty much checking every day. See, that's where I took a little batch off. Keeping my eye out. I've had some of this already and it's delish. Calendulas, comfrey. Comfrey's about to come out. The comfrey's about to come out and get made into comfrey tea. Shallots. Taking the comfrey down, I'll give a bit more room to the shallots now that they're swelling and split. They have split and they are swelling. And those are a few, I believe they are, what's the Japanese name for those onions that you're putting in the winter? I put in a load and most of them got a bit too wet and they rotted away. But there's a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, well there's some, yeah, there's some, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have survived. So we'll see how they go. And the zebrunas, more shadow. The zebrunas are still, they look small, but they've come on so much. They were like blades of grass, very young grass when they went in there. So they're coming on really well. And this is the back side of the bed with the peas in. Let's go back up through the middle. Up through the middle. Some dwarf French beans in there, the barlottos. I was going to grow them in the tins, in the hanging pots, but I put geraniums in them instead and hung them on the fence where our table is. So they're doing fine. There's sweet peas at the ends on both of these beds to grow up and over the beginning of the arch. I thought that'd be quite pretty this year. This I've just planted this morning. 3 dahlia plants, parent plants in there, because the tubers are quite a decent size already and I suspect they're going to be enormous by the end of the summer. Big Max is doing fine. It got a bit of wind damage on this leaf, these top leaves a bit, that one quite a lot, this one a bit, that one a bit, but I'm not worried about them. He's looking a bit droopy in the heat of the sun, but it'll be fine. It's been watered this morning. It's doing fine. And we've got, I don't know how many of these things are you supposed to let grow on. They're very cute, and there's another one forming down there as well. It's quite a prolific producer, isn't it? Goodness. Carrots and parsnips, doing fine. Growing nicely. Yeah, aren't they? Actually, I'm really pleased about having parsnips. Never done them before. I thinned them out a bit yesterday. I'm going to let them grow on a little bit more before I take a few more out. It's painful, isn't it? I've also stopped watering the top of this bed now. If I have to, I can stick the hose pipe down the corners and jet some water down into it. But I don't think I'm going to need to. I think they'll be fine. And I'm also, I think, deciding not to thin them out. The way I'll thin them out is to take some as baby carrots once they've got a bit of root growth on them. This is the other squash, one of the other squash beds. I've got quite a lot of squashes and things going on this year. Don't normally have. Some very beautiful cosmos growing on in there. And there. Some not very beautiful zinnias here that are not looking great. And some definitely zinnias that are giving up them ghost. There. Leeks still to go in. That's a black prince courgette. That one's a golden zucchini, which is, I'm not worried about that yellow leaf. They do that. Well, it's probably dying, that one, but I'm not worried about it either because it's putting off good leaves. I think this is another golden zucchini. And then those ones are Grisette de Provence. So that one and that one over there. Table full of bits and pieces, mostly lavender and delphiniums and a few others. There's a few lupins up there and some antirrhinums and things waiting to grow out. Strawberries have got shed loads of flowers on them. Yeah. That's going to be yummy, isn't it? All along that top of that fence. They've just spent the whole winter out there and they haven't worried about it one jot. When we had that very late frost in May, they got frosted, the flowers that were open then, but didn't kill the plants, so not to worry. And I have removed the frosted flowers, and they are now producing lots and lots of new, beautiful, unfrosted flowers. So there we go. Strawberries are plenty, hopefully. Out in front of the greenhouse, I've got these two grey troughs. This one is planted up with cleome, which are enjoying themselves there. And that one is planted up with calendula in the front, but also there's some cleome behind it. It'll be fine. You can't really see the cleome and you'd think it's getting drowned out, but it's not. It seems to be doing fine behind there. And then there's one of my sunflower, tallest sunflower in a pot challenge. Not in a bin, just in an ordinary pot because I didn't have a bin and I didn't have that much compost. So they're in there, but with plenty of feed, and they'll get plenty of feed as they're growing. And the other one is there. Oh, my back. And let's have a look in the greenhouse. Not a lot going on in there now. Just a few things left on the table that I'm rooting. And some Waltham butternut squash that have still got to grow under the sweet corn, but they're not far enough on yet. And that's pretty much it. I've cleared out. Oh yeah, I need to tell you about these. I've taken the shelves, the wooden bases out of these shelves. So, see straight down. And that's where the cucumbers are growing. They're going to grow the not Beth Alpha, they're in the green, in the polytunnel. These Fem Spot cucumbers are going to grow on in here. And they can use this fence to grow up. And then I'll put some strings up above if they want to go higher. Do what they want. So, a bit tidier in here. Around here is an interesting development. It's a patch of dirt, Julia, with some breeze block. Yes, it is a patch of dirt with some breeze block, but this is where my potting shed is going to go. It was supposed to arrive on Tuesday and it didn't. They told me, they let me pick a delivery date. Delivery date came and went. The following day I got a phone call from the dispatch company saying it's another 3 to 4 weeks lead time. Oh, junk pile. Oh, it's not junk pile, it's all the pots and things that need washing and sorting. And in this bed, which is bed number 5 of the raised beds, we've got a load of dahlias. All the cuttings that I took, they're all hardened off now, ready to go in the ground. And those are some spare peppers, looking miserable. Well, I've not decided what to do with them, that's the problem. I think I'm just going to get rid. It's going to be the compost pile, I think. I might put a few in the greenhouse. Oh, I hate letting plants go. Right, so dahlias. Dahlias are ready to grow, and a load of squash, and they're all different in here. There's 2 of each plant. 1, 2, they all do different things. There's some patty pans. I think this is where I've got the custard white, the green and the yellow patty pans. And then I think the sunburst squash, which only make tiny ones, but they're lovely. Quite nutty, those ones. I forgot to show you the little tom thumb lettuces that I'm growing outside. They're doing just as well out here as they are in the polytunnel. So there's successional sowing, obviously. I think those four were the first in. And then these others, and that one was the last one in. And some radishes in between them. These ones are French breakfast, and those ones over there are the white icicle. And then those are a few onions, stray onions that I grew from seed that I found around. They're Ailsa Craig's. I thought rather than throw them, I'd stick them in here in between the lettuces, knowing that the lettuces would be out before the onions need the space. And not last, spring onions, succession sown, set 1 at the front, and then set 2 second, and then set 3 still in the pot waiting to grow out. They're just about to unfurl, and once they've unfurled, I will do another successional sowing. And then over there are just a couple of geranium plants that are still waiting to go out, the last 2. And those are pointed cabbages, I can't remember the name for now. And another, that's a pot of tom thumb lettuce seedlings that have just not taken, so hey hi, I'll do another seedling row soon. No worries. And that is pretty much it really. I'm about to plant those 3 bell-shaped planters up with dahlias to go at the front garden. I've done quite a bit at the front garden as well, but I'm going to show you that on another day. Picture perfect lettuce. One of those is coming in for lunch, and nom nom. Absolutely stunning day here today, just sort of milling around. I've come underneath the shade of the sun parasol for a minute to say bye bye. I've made some new beds out here. Well, no, I've made 2 new beds since I last showed you out here. And sorry, that creaking noise is the sun parasol. Things are moving on quite quickly. I'm trying to get things planted out, a few things every day. Get some other jobs done. Made the new beds. Got a very pretty rose, a David Austin one called Mill on the Floss. That's in the ground now. Got a new clematis called the President, which is actually a variety my dad used to grow way back in the day. So when I saw that at the garden centres are open, when I saw that at the garden centre, that's coming home with me. I hope we're not getting too much noise from the breeze on here. And thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.